I just filmed 5 minutes of video to realize that you couldn't see the top half of my face. So, let's try this again. Good evening, people. Let's talk about hell. Not specifically any religion's version of hell, but you know, hell in general. Hell doesn't really make sense to me rationally as a rational person. I really don't understand it. And of course, most religious people who believe in hell are just going to say that I'm using my human rationalization skills and that hell is outside the realm of reality, so everything that I am trying to rationalize here really doesn't matter. But that's just their cop-out for not wanting to talk about it. So hopefully they won't do that this time. But yeah, let's jump right in. Hell. Some people, I hear, like to say that hell is basically the absence of God. And I'll tell you, if that is so, I cannot wait to go there. Because think about it, it's like a place where where you're not always looking over your shoulder, you know? Trying to see when God's going to throw that lightning bolt and strike you dead and send you to some place because you didn't obey him, and then you'll be tortured there for all of eternity. Think about how awesome of a place that would be. You never have to worry about that. There'd be no hate at all because you wouldn't be blindly hating anybody, you know? You wouldn't have your Quran or your Bible to tell you who you should hate for no reason at all. You know? There'd be no hatred. Nobody would ever be segregated. It'd be an awesome place. I think hell's looking up to be pretty good. Unless you're talking about the like fire and brimstone hell. You see, then you got a problem. You know, I'm gonna try and stick with Christianity because that's what I, you know, relate to the best. That's what I kind of know the best. So let's kind of stick to their hell or how their hell is portrayed. You know, because you know, when you're picturing that kind of hell, you know, you're always picturing the devils poking you with their little yardsticks and their pokers, and that doesn't seem very nice. Now, apparently, so like the devil is supposed to be, you know, like the embodiment of hell. You know, of like evil. You know, he's supposed to be like super evil. So that makes me wonder if people do evil things and they're sent there to be tortured by him. If he's evil, isn't he just going to reward you for doing evil things? Like, what if you admit that you're doing wrong just to piss God off? Then I could see being tortured in hell. But what if you say you're doing it because you want to go down there with the devil and you want to help fight against God? That'd be interesting. That'd be pretty cool, you know, like an epic battle between like the devil and God. You know, like all the good people are going to fight all the evil people in hell. I think it's pretty cool, you know, like an epic struggle. That's pretty cool. You know? And that's why it really doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would the devil actually want to torture you when you're really just doing what he wants to anyway? You know? And of course they say, you know, the devil wants to tempt you because he likes, you know, maybe he likes torturing people. But God likes torturing people too. We see that. Certainly he must if he's putting us if he is putting us through all this jazz, all this garbage, you know. I'd say that's psychological torture. I'm wondering if psychological torture is worse than physical torture. I guess it depends on to what degrees, what varying degrees of both, you know. That's funny. Another concept I have, you know. Like, maybe God created us just so he can mess with us, you know? Or maybe we're like God's entertainment. Maybe it's like God sitting up there from the sky, just kind of watching all the little people. Maybe we're like his television station, you know? Maybe God's watching us. Maybe we're his entertainment. I'm not sure, maybe a comedian has said this before. If he does, I'm sorry, can't give him credit because I don't know his name. It just seems like something a comedian would have said. So, yeah, so the devil's flipping through his TV channels, you know, seeing what's on, seeing what's going on in what state. I think Texas has got to be the most interesting channel for God to watch. Definitely, because think of all the crazy stuff that's going on there. You know? I mean, they got their NASCAR and whatnot. You know? Of course, you would go to Florida for the NASCAR. Because, you know, they got the the Daytona 500. But God's not interested in NASCAR. Yeah, but Alaska, I think that'd probably be like one of the Iowa. He would not want to watch Iowa's channel. What the hell's going on there? They got corn. What does Iowa have? Corn and methyl ebs. Not very interesting for God. Yep. So ultimately, he just creates all his little ants, watching them colonize. I think he's probably a crazy egomaniac. He's got a pretty big ego. He's laid out these laws. You know why? That's why he probably gave us free will. And he said evil. He probably created evil because he just kind of wants to stir things up a little. This has really gotten so far off track from what it was originally supposed to be, but oh well. Yeah, he just creates evil because he wants his television channels to be a little bit more interesting, And we're kind of doing the same thing. It's kind of like God's watching one of our TV channels, and we are his TV channel. It's like a symbiotic relationship, except he takes everything. Yeah. I got a pink guitar pick. It's got purple lipstick on it to go with my pink guitar. But don't let it fool you. It's a pretty good guitar. I bought it at Walmart for only $60. Yeah, some acoustic Black Dahlia Murder for you. Bet you'll like that. Alright, you know what? I'm going to go now before this starts getting too drawn out. See ya. Good night, everybody.